Okay, as you can see in the back there, very little bit, that's our established plot. You can see, gets a little bit bigger, comes back. Over here in this area, what I got going on is just clearing brush, clearing logs, cutting smaller scrub brush trees, cleaning up old stumps, getting this ready to bring our big machine in here and scrape up the ground, loosen up some dirt, get rid of some rocks, and get ready to start putting a no-till in. I got maybe like 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks max, and then I'm gonna put a no-till plot in this area, and then go back and re-till the field that I planted clover in the spring, and get some turnips going in the back there. This area, as you can see, is not established. We've slowly started to come in here and clear brush, cut ferns. You can see over here on this side, we got brush piles and brush piles and brush piles from where we've cut stuff in to let light into the big field. I think this year I've done a fair amount of research. I've gone YouTube, Google, down every rabbit hole, looking for one of the better food plot seeds for a high pH, very rocky, minimal sun in some areas, a lot of shade, but then again, a lot of sun in some other areas. And I think based off of the research that I've done, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Domain product. I'm probably gonna get some hot chick in this area, which is gonna be a mixture of clover and chicory. And I'm gonna plant it a little bit earlier than what I normally would plant something. Probably the end of July, which is 2 to 3 weeks from now. Maybe the first week in August, depending on my schedule. And that's gonna allow the clover to pop up, start growing, and then the chicory is gonna come in a little bit later. So that way, early bow season, September, October, this area of this plot is gonna be ready to go. I also believe that I'm going to separate the two, the big plowed, manicured plot over there, and this no-till plot in here. I'm going to separate them with another Domain product, the Incognito seed. It's a big, grows 6 to 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, and it's going to separate the two, and it's going to give a barrier. One, it's just gonna, allow me to, see the difference, what's going on over here, what's going on over here. But then it's gonna allow, a little bit of cover. It's got some sorghum in it, so the deer are gonna eat it a little bit. But, it's gonna give them some cover coming in from, this way. This is where they'll come into the field. They'll come in a bunch of different ways, but it's gonna give them some cover coming in to this big area over here. So they're not just going to walk right out in the open. They'll have a little bit of cover, on the fringe to slowly ease themselves into the field. So that's what I got going on. Like I said, I'm going to use some of the main products this year. We've used a variety of different stuff out in the manicured plot. We started that about 5-6 years ago. We're still competing, as you can see, with ferns and big weeds, but it's a very rocky area. The soil was never really that great. But everything's coming along, and like I said, this is the first time we're in this area. Just gonna keep clearing brush, keep moving logs. See the big brush pile back there. Got a couple hemlocks I need to take out. I got to bring the bigger saw up here. That's just gonna allow. Hemlock's not a log. It's not an expensive log right now. People don't buy it, so we typically just knock them down, clean them up, pile up the brush, and let them melt into the ground. Eventually, years later, it's going to create a decent brush pile to pull some decent soil from. But they really just block up the sun, take up nutrients from the ground, and we don't usually typically cut them to make logs to send to the mill. So that's what I got going on here. I'm just gonna keep clearing brush. Be back with you guys in a little while.